Israel says it will resume the fighting with full force once any pause is over, with soldiers already standing by. For more on this, here's TalkTV's correspondent Tom Mutch. He's next to the Hatzarim Air Base, where the hostages are expected to land. Evening to you, Tom. What do we know about the 11 people released so far tonight?
So we know that effectively this is the exact same thing that we've been seeing in previous hostage exchanges. Women and children, they're taken over, in this case, the Rafah border crossing into Egypt, and then they're expected to be flown by helicopter into the safety of Israeli airspaces, including the base close to me where I am now, Beersheba. In this case, there has been some controversy because Israel has accused Hamas of not entirely living up to the deal by saying that they have been releasing people without their family members. Part of the deal is to keep these families actually together. Now, Hamas has in some cases responded in saying, well, actually, we control some family members and their locations, yet other terror groups in the Gaza Strip control others. A quite strange situation, and it's not entirely clear why these other groups control these hostages, which were originally understood to be under the control of Hamas.
Talk us through this truce then, Tom. How will it work? Are there guarantees about how many people will be released?
So yes, included in the original hostage deal, there was a clause that said that both sides could come to an agreement to extend it by a number of days. There will be an agreement whereby the truce is extended for 1 day in exchange for 10 Israeli hostages. And also Israel will have to release 30 prisoners from its jails who are in there for a wide variety of things, anywhere from simply being in a riot where stones were thrown all the way to attempted murder. So obviously there's a lot of Israelis I've spoken to here that have raised some consternation over the terms of that deal. That said, it is still broadly supported in the society here.
It's going to be interesting how this pans out. Of course, the Israelis say they're ready to keep fighting when this truce ends. What happens there? Will it be extended again, or do we just go back to square one?
So, as I said, there is a deal. The clause within the truce says the deal can be extended up to 5 extra days in total. So that would be 10 days, and then the fighting would resume. But the fighting would resume in a way that looks quite different to the fighting that's gone before. So beforehand, the Israelis said to everybody in Gaza, especially in the north of Gaza, go south. The south will be a safe zone, a relative safe zone at least, compared to the destruction that was happening in the north. Now, however, the absolutely overwhelming majority of the Gazan population is now concentrated in the south. So if the Israelis want to take the south by military means, that will mean they are wading into an area with ground troops that is absolutely packed with civilians at an even greater density than North Gaza was. And in this case, it's hard to find where they would have a place to run. Egypt has already said that it's not willing to open its borders to Palestinians who want to flee Gaza. So this puts all sides in a very difficult situation.
So a controversial time for Israel, of course. I mean, in terms of who is winning the war, the hearts and the minds, what is the sense on the ground there, Tom, at the moment?
So in terms of Israel, again, I'm speaking primarily from the Israeli perspective because that's where I've been spending my time. The perspective among most Israelis I've spoken to is it's sad that all of this destruction is happening, but we've got no other option in order to root out Hamas. Now, there are people who also that I've spoken to who say, look, I don't think that this destruction is worth it. It is going to kill too many people and it's not going to eliminate Hamas. However, they are generally within the minority. Now, on my trips to the West Bank, where I've spoken to Palestinians, they believe that this is effectively what they call the second Nakba or the second catastrophe. And they see it as a ploy by Israel to get rid of the Palestinians on these lands, which of course Israel vehemently denies.